Welcome to Hardcore Garage. Glad you guys are back. If you're following along, you should probably know what the order of progression is leading towards. And I'm kind of digging this whole doing the what's in the box episode before I actually install that thing or use that thing. When it works out that way, I like that, the way that works out. Let me know if you guys agree. If you like seeing the combination of the two thrown in together. But we do got a box. We got a box. And everyone always wants to know what's in the box. So let's see what's in this box. This 93 has been getting a lot of upgrades for a work truck. Kind of digging, playing around with it and learning some new things myself. Ooh, looky what we got here. I don't know if I can dump all this out in my lap or not. We got a bag with some stuff. We got some stuff. Uh-oh, we got some airline. Some more electrical wire stuff. I'll open that in a second. We're digging down in here. What's in this box? All right, open up. Come on out of there. What we got here, people, is an AirLift air shock controller, I guess is what they want to call it. Basically what it is it's a compressor. And it is made by AirLift, the same people that make the Dominator, bags. So hopefully it's decent quality. The videos that I've seen online looks pretty cool. It's kind of a loud unit, but for what we're doing here, I think it'll work out just perfect. Everything should be included here in the parts. And the other thing that they do give you, and we did get this kit off Amazon. It was about, I think it was less than 140 bucks delivered. And it does come with the air gauge there and your dump valve. It's a manual valve, not no Larry's. And then you have a monetary throw switch, so you'll air up, and when you let go, it turns the compressor off. Looks fairly easy to do on the back side here. So that'll be our next video, is installing, if I don't roll my chair over this stuff and break it. That will be our next install video. We'll be putting the air shock controller, I guess is what we're going to call it. I don't think it's a compressor, whatever, but it has mounting brackets, everything's there. It looks like it's pretty easy. I'm going to read the instructions. Oh my gosh. Yes, I'm going to read the instructions. But anyway, check back with me here in a little bit. I know that's stupid because the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to cut the film right there, and then I'm going to show you us starting to work on the vehicle. So I don't know why I said that. Here's what she looks like all laid out. Well, when I saw the original pictures, I didn't know that I was looking at a Blazer, and this will not fit inside the frame of an S10 up under the cab like it will on a Blazer. So I was looking for different places, and I think what I'm going to do, for now at least, is I'm going to mount it to this cross member right here on the bottom side. I'm going to put it down under there like that. You can see my holes I drilled right there and right there. And we're going to see how that works. There's my screw. 3/8 stainless steel hardware comes with it. I'll throw that under there. Don't want to break it. This isn't the ideal location. It'll be hard to film in here. You see that little dot right there on the red? That's an empty spot. I can pop a hole through and run my wires through. Or, if I can get up in here any better, I can try to come through on that grommet where the wire loom is coming through. I guess my first step is to go ahead and remove these bottom panels here and get them out of the way. We're going to need to run some power from that fuse box too, so. Not every truck's going to have this, but you're going to have a flat blade or probably maybe a 5/16 flat blade, one over here, but it's missing. And then there would have been a nut right back there too, and it's obviously missing, and we'll be able to get this out of here. And there's no way for me to put this camera down here and see if I'm even videoing or anything, so I'm just going to do it real quick. Now we can see everything in here, and I have no idea what this big mess of crap is here. Somebody added something, obviously. I have to look into that. But now we can kind of see where we're going back up in there. And the breaker box. Well, because I can't leave well enough alone, I think is what my mom would say, I've been on a journey to modify these air shocks before I ever even get to really enjoy them. You know, we're putting this compressor on, and man, I'm just thinking, got these 1/8" lines and 1/4" lines. Let's try to make everything uniform. So here's what I figured out so far. I found these fittings, and I believe they're for water. Turn that light off, try again. You can see there's the difference between the 1/4" and the 1/8" line that came with these. But anyway, this right here, it's got an odd thread on those air shocks. It's 7/16 by 20. And it's real weird looking for an adapter. I mean, I could find different things, and I'd have to go from one thing to the next, you know, get a piece of line to go into it. You could have, you know, had the screw-on kind, compression fitting or whatever they call those, but I was trying my best to stay with, you know, these push-in fittings. And this is, again, from water, I believe, and I've got it aired up now. I just ran it real quick over to the Schrader valve back there, and it's holding air. Those valves or adapters, connectors, whatever the heck you call them, they have a little rubber O-ring in them in the bottom, so you just tighten them up a little bit by hand. And I just put just a little bit with the wrench. You can hear it leaking, and you know, it quit leaking as I was tightening it. So we're going to try that and see what happens. I'm going to run this 1/8" line and tee off of it. So then, my buddy just dropped me off a bag of air fittings there. We're going to get to messing with this thing and see what we can do. I don't have any of them nice little clamps like I had for the 1/8" line though, do I? Where's my cutter at? Right there. I didn't try one of these yet. Make sure they work. Assume they will. I'll just lay right up in there like that. Inside here, of course. Like this. Getting all dirty. And then you got to do this here. I think got me a place to put a tie around right there. I think I don't want to kink this
time though. Probably ought to throw some tape on that. Keep her clean if we can, guys. Gotta be pretty. And there is a spot in here to run it right behind your shock tower against the frame. Probably don't need the wire ties, honestly, but I'm gonna plug this stuff right here in blindly. Yes. We'll play around with that there. And I got my T down there to run to the other side. And over here is where I'm not too sure about. This T over here is coming off of the pump. Somewhere I've got to have one more T because one airline needs to run to the shock over there, and another airline needs to run up to the gauge. So I need two lines running forward. So I'll kind of wish that I had a Y, I'm thinking, instead of a T. Or maybe, let me think. I think I got her figured out how to run it. Too much for my brain to consume all at one time. Alright, we're hooking into this T up in here. Now we got to go up underneath that pump. About right there, I believe. This tool right here is handy as ever, guys. Get one of them if you have the chance. Alright, I think now I'm going to run me a straight line from here to here. Tee off there to go to there. That goes to the gauge and the cab. If everything goes right. Good thing I got small hands. I'm gonna go about right there, I think. Yeah, they come back off. It's not very easy. Okay, that's going to tuck back up in here. We're going to run another guy from here. And that's going to go under. Like this, right in there. And the last of my line will, not this line anyway, I got that whole line over there, will run all the way to the front. Unfortunately, I gotta wait on another one of these guys. Alright, the camera died, but I kept working. We've got her all done. All I'm waiting for is on a fitting be able to hook that on, and to get the wiring done inside the cab. You can see my line and my power wire running along the frame rail. Runs along the frame rail under here. Wire ties every so often. Goes above the crusty cross member. Right along through there. And up into the engine compartment. And I'll never be able to show you the hole that I drilled for the grommet because it's down low. You can see my hole coming through right there. And I'm gonna mount it right there, I believe, using that right hand screw. And I'm not sure if I'm gonna put another screw in there, man. I hate to drill into the dash, I really do. I gotta find me a power. Up in there is my next step, and get this thing running, but I'm gonna have to wait for that fitting anyway, so none of this will matter other than just being able to test it, which would be kind of cool. Looks like I need to vacuum. Got my wires all in the back of here. Wire ties ran. Got me a fuse, and you can't see nothing up in there now. You can see my red wire up there in the top left-hand quarter. Top left-hand corner in the battery terminal. That is something that runs all the time, even when the car is off. I did go ahead and put a second screw in there. That one over there is a factory screw. I figure these pieces up here are a little easier to get a hold of than the dash base, so I'm going to throw some wire loom on here to cover this up so you don't see those red wires. And she's ready to go as soon as I get that fitting on the back. It's a little cleaner with the wire loom on it. And if you can see back in there, what I used is duct seal. It's kind of like the same stuff that you see around your air conditioning lines. So basically all I'm waiting on is that one little fitting, and we'll be back in business, guys. It'll be like poof. Alright, this wasn't the ideal way I wanted to do this, but these parts arrived first that I ordered when I was trying to do some other stuff. So we're going to do it like this for right now. On this one side, it's probably going to screw things up, but I'm going to do it anyway. Just put this guy on here. Oh, I can't do that, can I? How am I going to do this? Oh, don't you dare fall down in the pit. Okay, what I'm going to do, I'm going to take me a little piece of this line here. This is the 1/8 inch, the original line. And we are going to put it on like this. Hopefully you can see what I'm doing. Just how you would have normally. Again, this is just a temporary fix because I got to see this thing work, man. I've done too much stuff. Why is it not wanting to go in there? There we go. Okay, we got that line fitted. What I did was I ordered some adapters. I had done this a long time ago when I was trying to figure out a way to convert to the 1/4 inch lines. I just couldn't find the adapters that were in, you know, just one piece. So this was going to be my solution. And there we go. We'll at least get to see if it works. You may not even be able to tell if it's going up, but we're going to try her. See if it holds pressure. I know one thing that's going to happen is I'm going to run my battery dead. I believe it is holding pressure. Yeah, that's awesome. Hopefully I can get this thing started and go for a ride. Yeah! So I'm pretty sure that I showed you guys everything that we did as far as the conversion to the 1/8 inch or 1/4 inch lines. And I'm not going to like necessarily check this project off the list because, like I said, I got more fittings coming to where I'll be able to plug that 1/4 inch line directly into the shock like I can on the other things. I've also got some other fittings coming, some better ones that are metal instead of these plastic water fittings, which they're holding. It's a cheap way to go, but we're trying different things is what we're going to do. So I hope you guys learned something, enjoyed this video. Keep watching, subscribe, share these videos. All right, all right, all right. We got some fittings today in the mail finally. Check them out. All right, I think these are going to screw right on to the shocks and not have to have these plastic ones, which I just ordered them to see what would come first. And I also have this, yeah, you know what I'm talking about. And it will go through the bumper, and it has a fitting on the back side of it too, so I can plug directly into it without any kind of connector. So let's do that. A dog. Who's a pretty dog? Calibre. Hey. Oh, there's a good dog. Yes, there's a good dog. Say hi to everybody. Say hi, people. Okay, let's get this stuff ripped apart here and get this Nuge stuff on. I'm a little dirty. These did work, though, and it's actually a cheaper option, so I wouldn't be against telling people to go ahead and buy these things. This one here is a little weird. Has this rubber washer there. I don't know if I want that on there or not. I really don't. But I'm going to try it, how it's supposed to go on the first time anyway. Now, some people have said to trim off the collar on these shocks. All we're doing is just screwing them on. Yeah, I don't know if you guys ain't never going to be able to see that little rubber washer. These ones had a built-in rubber washer, so I assume it's kind of doing the same thing. It keeps you from having to use Teflon tape or the liquid, which we may use if we end up with some leaks. No big deal. That's hilarious. That thing just goes all the way through. I don't know what kind of fittings them are, if they're crap or what, but oh yeah, came right out. Good to go there. We're gonna clean that line off. Lay that right on top of there like I did the other one. Now, there's plenty of better ways you can mount that compressor or whatever you want to call it, air shock controller. But that was the easiest way, and you can tell this thing is not pretty. It's not no show truck. We're just playing around with it. I would honestly probably want that. Well, if he was in the cab, it would make so much noise. I don't know. Maybe you could put a box around it or something like that. A flat piece of steel. You could have added a piece in the back of here, someplace to mount that. If you have a Blazer, it'll fit right in the frame rail, which is pretty nice. And lastly, we're going to go ahead and change this guy out too, even though it all works good. I hope my hole was the same size. Hey, I forgot there was air in there. These are all just plastic fittings that were on here originally. So that's why I kind of thought the water fittings would work. They're plastic too. Going to need a wrench. There we go. I like this to all be one fitting, one size. Oh, yeah, that's perfect. And all metal fittings too is nice. I'm pretty sure that this stuff is Harley Davidson. You know, they got air ride on them. It's a factory thing, I believe, on the Harleys. There we are back together. I'm going to air it up one more time just to make sure everything's good. We're going to fill this bad boy up one more time. You probably can't. Let's get down here and see if you can see any kind of raise in it. I'm going to pump it up to 100. There's 100. Really stiff too. I don't know if you can see it raise up. And another thing, you probably don't want to be running the pump without the vehicle running. I know that that's the way traditional air ride is. You don't want that too low of a voltage to get to your compressor or air ride management, air shock controller, whatever you want to call it. You can burn up the pump. So don't do that too many times if you don't have to. That's it, guys. I know I kind of threw in together the installation of the compressor with converting to the 1/4-inch lines, but it was just the easiest thing to do. As soon as I started putting this together, I was just like, man, these fittings are janky, even though I don't know anything about it, and they've probably been used for hundreds of years or however long air shocks have been around. It just didn't feel right to me, and the best thing to do was, you know, upgrade. The air controller itself had 1/4-inch lines on it running to the gauge and your valve inside, so let's just make it all the same. It was the easiest thing to do. Not really that easy. If I'd have known what I was doing, I got a lot of extra leftover fittings that were going to be to convert things here and there if I couldn't get what I wanted, but I was just trying to do it as fast as I could. Doesn't always work out the best when you do it that way. Anyway, hope you guys enjoyed the video. Hope you learned something. I know I did. I've got some ideas of, you know, maybe we can try to throw a set of these shocks on the front with some external shock mounts or something. We'll see what happens. Who knows what we're going to do next? Leave some comments down below. Tell me what you want to see. I know people want to see a C-notch, and I've considered that, and that may be coming. But they're, you know, give me some ideas. Let me know. Keep on trucking.